Vibration is always the way. It has always been the way that we have made this kind of leap into the next level of our evolutions. The why is a wonderful tool to assist us to make as easy a transition as we can to the next level of our potential of what it means to become a new human, not a third dimensional version, but a fifth dimensional with less density. But we will see light run through our bodies, and we will become a light-based species.
Hello and welcome. My name's Campbell. This is Autodidactic, and we're back with another conversation. We've got David back from Soma Energetics, and we're also going to have Tim join us. And we're going to jump into a bit more of the practical aspects, I guess, of the forks and how to use them and all this kind of stuff. And at the end of the last chat, this is our second chat, of course. If you haven't seen the first one, links below. Go check it out. And that's a background on how this all works, you know, what David's mission is and all that kind of stuff. And today, like I said, we'll get more into the practical. So how are you going, David? Welcome back.
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me back. I'm looking forward to our time together today and the conversation and being able to bring some empowering information to our audience today.
Awesome. Yeah. No, we had a really good response. You know, everyone's definitely interested in all this sort of new modalities. I don't know how to say. Got to be careful with what we say, but you know, other ways to keep our body machine healthy, shall we say? So, and it all seems to do with frequency, right? We are frequency, we are energy, vibration. So, last time we mentioned that there's a personal kit, which is a good sort of intro kit. So, do you want to cover that again quickly for the people?
Sure. A lot of our tuning forks was based on classes for practitioners, people who did massage and Reiki and different things, who were professionally doing it on other people. But we had so many requests for people who said, well, I'm really not interested in going into it as a profession or a practitioner, but I need it for myself and for maybe my family or my friends. Sometimes they're animals, believe it or not. We have some wonderful testimonies of abused horses and different animals that seem to respond very well to frequency because they don't have the brain that words get in the way. So they're more receptive to pure vibration and frequency than sometimes we are, because we overthink it as we do most things. And that becomes a block really to energy work. So I decided to pick out some parts of the tuning fork that I thought people could use simply at home, wherever they are. And of course, the main one that we picked out was the Om tuner. And probably most people listening to have heard of the Om as a Hindu sound, which represents primordial sound. It means one of the first sounds of energy becoming matter through vibration, gave off a sound. Okay. And that sound is the Om sound. So, and at the time I did this, we were kind of just coming into the heat of the COVID experience, where people really were needing to get themselves out of stress and all of the stuff that we all went through. And there's nothing more grounding than an Om tuner. It just immediately grounds you right to your earth chakra, which is that first root chakra that goes down into Mother Earth. And I really appreciated the people that took that responsibility to ground themselves during that time. So that's one of the first ones that we have. And Tim, do you want to maybe demonstrate the Om tuner for the people?
So Om tuner is 136.1 hertz. It's the same frequency as our Earth as it goes around the sun in 1 year. And it is also used by the Hindu culture. When you hear them chanting Om, this is the frequency that they're using. Okay, so it's an all-purpose fork. This is the number one fork that we start people with who say, I don't know anything about tuning forks, because it does so many things. You can listen to it, so you can use the palm of your hand, or it comes with an activator that you can sound it that way. So let me let you hear that. All right, so that's an ohm tuner. Now so because it's got the weights, what the weights do is they take the sound and they push it down through the stem so that you can then feel it on the body.
Right, all right. Cool.
Okay. So it's an all-purpose fork in the point that you can listen to it and help yourself with grounding and relaxation and meditation. But you can also then take and use it on acupressure points, tight joints, muscles that hurt. Great for sinuses along that sinus bone. Okay. And then there's a thing now. Now the kit just comes with 1 ohm, but while we're here, let's talk about a double ohm. So you can imagine if you're using the ohm tuner and you're doing it in one ear, and then you go over and go to the other ear, versus being able to surround your whole head with the sound. It's a much richer experience. The sum is greater than the parts.
Yeah. So
Okay. And then go ahead. Yeah.
does having 2 fields, like the 2 interacting fields, does that have anything to do with that? How it works?
Well, because these are the same frequency, all you're doing is causing an enriched
it's just
experience
a bigger field.
right,
Okay.
an entire surrounding the entire head. Now, if you were to
Yeah.
have 2 different frequencies, then you're into binaural beats, and the brain is picking up the difference between the two. And
Yeah.
David might get into a little bit of that with the intervals of the color forks in a minute.
By putting them both in each ear, you're bringing together your right and left brain. So when you do it at one at a time, you're doing right brain, left brain.
Okay.
But together, you're becoming whole brain.
Okay, so it's working with
Vibration.
the corpus callosum basically, and the integration
Yes.
between right and left. Okay.
That's correct. That is very correct. Yes.
He's got it.
So the next fork is
Next fork is you can go with pineal gland or crystal tuner.
let's go to the crystal fork.
Okay.
This little tiny fork is a very high pitch fork. But we have had such experiences through the years with people clearing space of negativity. A lot of people who do work like massage and whatever, oftentimes will clear their space after a client before another client comes in, so things don't, accumulate in the place. And a lot of people use it in their homes. We've had people use it in feng shui. It's part of an angel tuner kit, so therefore it can call in your guides and angels at the same time. It's a wonderful vibration. I remember we was at an expo years ago getting started with this, and we were using that at our booth, and a lot of the vendors came running down and said, I don't know what you just did, but a whole host of angelic light beings showed up around your booth, and all we had done was this fork. So we've heard many things about this little fork. So that's what it's for.
So so the crystal tuner, very high pitched fork, use clear spaces as he mentioned. We kind of tongue in cheek sometimes say it's great to clear the space, clear your space after the in-laws leave. Okay. And then the final fork in this kit is the pineal gland fork. And so there's some thought about calcification. You want to talk about that for a second?
The pineal fork is based on my research and study of many years, actually, that I've been studying the pineal gland. My conclusion is the pineal gland is one of the most spiritual, physical glands in the entire body. It's like the shape of a pine cone. That's where it gets the name pineal, or pineal, some will call it, but it's shaped like a pine cone. And it's right in the center of our brain. And it has to do with things like creating melatonin and things that have to do with cycles of sleep and awake. Now, if you take that on a spiritual level, most people are asleep spiritually and need to be awakened. So there's something about activating that pineal gland that becomes very effective to how do I say this, new energy data is coming into the earth. In other words, there's a whole lot of new thoughts and ideas that are trying to break through our more third dimensional thinking systems. And the pineal is the thing that can interpret that light information, because that's what it does, and bring it into the chemical part of the brain. Now, that might sound a lot, but really what that's called is an epiphany. Everybody out there's had an epiphany. That's an aha moment.
Yeah.
And that's when a thought comes in and you thought, I would have never thought that thought. Where did that come from? Well, that's coming from a higher dimension in yourself, and it's getting down to the brain level because the pineal gland is able to reinterpret that to something the brain can get and understand. So also the fact that the pineal gland has not been used for a long, long time, it has become kind of dormant until recently. And because of that, it's become calcified, which kind of dumbs us down. And people who understand that, I don't want to get into conspiracy theorists here, but people who understand that and know how to dumb us down a little bit will use this idea of the calcification of the pineal gland.
Yeah.
So this vibration kind of just smashes it up into pieces so that you can get rid of that calcification and begin to really receive better clarity, guidance, intuition, hearing your gut clearer and better. Yeah, powerful experience. Everybody should have a pineal gland.
Yeah, well, I mean, we hear lots about the pineal gland and about the fluoride and all this kind of stuff and calcification, but I'd never really thought about it as the interpreter, I guess, you know, of the information, like almost like that's where it comes in. I'd sort of, I don't know, thought it came in through the top for some reason, but yeah, that makes sense. And where we are at the moment, you know, we have this phenomenon where people are talking to other people and they don't seem to be able to interpret what they're saying.
But if you walk into the Vatican, it's a big pine cone out there.
Exactly.
If you look on the staff of the Pope, it's a pine cone. Pine cones are everywhere because people have understood the power of the pineal gland and how to manipulate and control us. So we're going to change that by changing the vibration of the pineal gland. It's going to make us more unable to receive all this dumbing down that has been going on long enough, as far as I'm concerned. We need to wake up.
Yes.
So the pineal gland, we work with scientists at UCLA who gave us the vibration frequency of the pineal gland. You can't get a tuning fork made in that low a frequency, 15 hertz. So we went up 6 octaves. We do everything in 3, 6, and 9. David's going to talk about that when he gets into the energy tuners and the Solfeggio. So this fork here. Okay. Well, the idea here is that it resonates then with the pineal gland. Anything that resonates together, then will cause that to vibrate. The fact that we can get the pineal gland to vibrate with sympathetic resonance, then it can loosen its calcification.
Yeah, right.
Right here. Okay. So this kit then comes in a very nice box, and then it comes with as we said, the crystal tuner and a quartz crystal to sound it with.
Activator,
the ohm tuner and the activator. Comes with the pineal gland. It also comes the minute the purchase is made, it comes with the audio version of A Fork in the Road.
Book. Yes.
Yep, there's the book, exactly. So, but you don't get the hard copy with this. You can order the hard copy, but what comes with it with this kit is the audio version. And kind of interesting, the audio version is done by David's son-in-law, who happens to be the news director of one of the major markets here in.
Oh, really?
So he's got a great voice.
He's got the welcome to right.
Exactly.
Oh, very cool.
So this kit is a great place to start for people. It's why he designed it, for kind of a starting point. And then if you find yourself, hey, I'm using these tools, this is kind of cool, I'm seeing some difference, then come back and see whatever else we might have. Okay.
Yeah.
And now we sent you one of these kits. Did you have some experience?
You did, yes. Yeah. I've been using them every day. I'm basically just doing the clearing with the crystal, this crystal tuner. Then I'm doing the pineal. You've actually got in the kit. You've got like a little sort of a routine to do with them. So I've been doing that every day, which ends up basically with it on your pineal gland. And then, we've got the arm, which I've been using because obviously I've got a few issues with my arm. So that's what I've been using mainly on my arm, actually physically pressure pointing it, basically from my neck all the way down. And it's been interesting. I've definitely felt stuff happening. my whole hand sort of went crack the other day when I was just sort of sitting the fork on it, and it just went bang and just dropped down like something happened. And
There you
also
go.
my hand's been like lifting up as well when I run the forks over it, like just by itself. It's kind of, so I mean, it's definitely showing me that it's interacting with the energy field. It's all there, and
Right.
it's yeah, it's definitely feeling lighter, I guess, a bit less restricted. It's definitely, so I've been going
Excellent.
at least a couple of weeks now, I guess. So yeah, I'm definitely feeling something from it.
All right, wonderful. So it comes with this booklet, as you mentioned, and in the booklet, then it kind of takes you through exercises for each one, how to clear space using the energy tuner. Using the crystal tuner. Sorry, how to use it for relaxation and meditation with the Ohm tuner, etc. So it comes with a little booklet there too.
Yeah, and
So
they're really good for meditations as well, aren't they? You can kind of clear your space, and then you can kind of meditate with the ohms and things. And
so I'm going to so in your comments last time of the last video, they were asking, what are these color forks in front of David?
yes,
So I think he wants to spend a little time talking about what Soma Energetics is built on, and it's called Solfeggio frequencies. So this is kind of a fascinating area that David can take you through.
yeah. Well, everyone's heard solfeggios. Everyone goes, "Oh, solfeggio," but I'm not sure if many people actually know what that means.
Yes, it's becoming more well known than when I first started this 23 years ago. I was kind of out there, but it's coming around. I feel very humbled and honored that these frequencies were kind of dropped into my lap. I'm not the one that discovered them. What I did is took the frequencies of these solfeggio forks and was able to put them into tuning forks. And when I did that, then I started getting downloads on how to use them. And that's how I developed Soma Energetics. And it was all based upon the idea of why people do not heal. And I don't want to get on this long, but I want to say I've been fascinated all my life because I've been around healing type of communities. And I've just noticed some people heal and some people don't. And then I've noticed later that some people manifest and some people don't. Some people can manifest, a partner or job or finance, but other people don't. It doesn't always work that way. And I couldn't figure out what is going on there. And Cambell, what I finally came to is people didn't have the energy to manifest beyond survival. Because all we do is use energy enough to survive as a species. We feel we're successful if we've got a nice home or a car or the essentials of life. But I think there's something waking up in the soul, the collective soul that says, I want more than to survive. I want to thrive. I want life and abundantly. And I think the reason that has not happened is because people has not been in contact with that energy field, that unlimited energy field. Now, I call that energy field an energy field, but a lot of people might call that God or source or many different names that it's given, but actually it is an inexhaustible energy system that we can connect to with our own energy system, because you have your own personal energy system, right?
Yes.
Each of your energy centers, like your chakras, spin off into an energy body. So you have physical, you have an etheric, you have a mental, you have an emotional, you have an astral, you have a causal, and you have an etheric level. And all of that is coming in to the body. Everybody thinks it's going out from the body, but it's actually also coming into the body to become the body. So your body is always energy becoming.
Yes.
I'll say that again. Your body is always energy becoming. By the time we're through today with this time together, millions upon millions of cells will have died and recreated themselves right now where we're speaking.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Now, where does those new cells come from is from the energy body that's closest to the physical, which is your etheric blueprint for cells. So when I got the solfeggio frequencies, I was told to work in the etheric body, which is the cause of all disease, illness, and sickness. The body is not the cause of it. The body is the result or effect of what's happening in the etheric body. So these are called energy tuners, these colored forks here. that don't have the weights. These work on the body, these work on the etheric body. So you're working with cause and effect. Now, you said you had something, you're dealing with something with your arm, right?
Yes.
So you would use this, but then you also want to use these because you want to get rid of the cause of what's happening in your arm.
Okay, so the weighted ones are to affect what's already manifested in the physical. The non-weighted ones are to change the blueprint before it manifests.
Yeah. I mean, all matter owes its existing to vibrating frequencies. The vibrating energy of various frequencies is behind the energetic blueprint that governs all molecular and biochemical processes of our body. Everything comes from the energy, and the energy then vibrates into matter.
Mm.
So why would you want to just deal with the body when it's being caused by what's going on vibrationally in your energy field? So even our thoughts, emotions all have a vibratory pattern to it.
We've looked at cymatics a bit in my channel, and literally it's all frequency, and just, if the frequency's off just a little bit, right? 0.001, if it's off, then you just get a mess. As soon as you hit that right frequency, you get this geometric perfection. So that's what these are pretty much doing, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, cymatics is the science proof that vibration repatterns physiology, right?
Yep.
And we show that. I mean, there's videos out there that shows how a bow against a metal plate with sand on it will make all these wonderful patterns of energy. Sometimes if we have caught within our energy field some unfinished trauma, like some emotional thing from even childhood, it remains as a mispatterning in the energy body, which shows up in the physical body. So I wanted to share with you personally, sometimes if I have somebody come to me and they say, I have something wrong with my arm hurts. You know what I do? I say, no, what hurt is showing up in your arm? What emotional hurt? What happened somewhere energetically in your energy life stream that has caused this to now manifest in your arm? So see, I would go into dealing with someone to try to find out where was there a hurt? Where was a trauma in which you are still grieving it and you've not let it go? And if we let that go, then it's going to repattern the physical arm itself. So this is a deeper healing process in some way. So let's talk about solfeggio for solfeggio. Solfeggio is a term for a set of frequencies that, believe it or not, was once sung in Gregorian chants many centuries ago.
Yes.
And when they were being sung, wonderful things happened. People really connected to their deity. People was healed, all kinds of wonderful things. And then they were taken out from that. And in the absence of that, there was other scales that were put in there that were more limiting. See?
Yeah.
So this is exciting that so many things that have been edited out from us that are indigenous are coming back because we have a promise that before this 3D age world ends, everything that has been edited out will be restored back to us to empower us to the next level of our bioconscious evolution, into the next level of what it means to be a human being. These frequencies will help people. And you may have people out there listening to me right out there saying, I've been wondering what's going on in my life. Things have changed so much and I don't know where I'm going. And that's where that higher guidance starts coming in, and we start getting guided and led toward what is the next stage.
And of course, a lot of people are having a lot of issues pop up recently. Like there seems to be something going on in the bigger energy field where people's past traumas, shall we say, are popping up, and then being made to deal with them. So this is a good way to sort of assist in that, I guess, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. So there are 6 tones Now, there's some people out there that have gone to 9 tones, but I kept the 6 because of the person that received the message to restore the frequencies was told to use the 6. And we don't have time to get into it, but 6 is a powerful number. It's a great number in the universe. It's a great part of sacred geometry. And it's a part of the frequencies that lead us more and closer to the golden mean. And so many wonderful things. There's so many wonderful things to say about vibration and tuning forks in these days. But these 6 tones were created, and what we've found out about it is they create a sacred spiral to generate the flow of energy up the spine, tending healthy energy to balance chakras. The spiral encodes itself as is called a matrix of energy. And that word matrix is interesting, but in my Hebrew Bible study years, found out meant womb.
Oh.
So it's created. Yeah, isn't that powerful?
Yeah.
So these forks, using them, opens the womb of consciousness for the other dimensions to begin to come in and intone into your 3rd dimensional body, raising the frequency of a 3rd dimensional body, which is under the name of resurrection. This is what resurrection means.
Nice.
Changing and raising the frequencies of our bodies out of 3D to become a more light body of 5D. And there's no better way to do that than to use these frequencies and tuning forks.
So are the spirals that are created, are they all slightly different? Like I'm thinking is like, because 3.14 is going to create a certain spiral, which means if that fraction or the frequency was say 1.16, it would be a different spiral, right? Are they all creating spirals that are tuned to the chakras, is I guess what I'm trying to say? Like, are they specific to the shape of the spiral that's natural to each chakra?
Yeah, great question, a great comment. Because chakras are spirals, right?
Yeah, spinning wheel.
You see a chakra, it's going to look like a wheel, which is a Sanskrit word for chakra, or chakra, is a wheel. So you have wheels within wheels, just as we have dimensions within dimensions. So you have to have a unique spiral to get to each dimension. You can't use the same one. So you've got 6 different frequencies here that help to spiral within the spiral until you reach the point that you're trying to get to, which is called a still point, or point 0. And when that happens, then of course we're completely in a new and different dimension.
Reality, yeah.
Yeah. I just find it so interesting that everybody wants to fix this one. I know that. Yeah, everybody wants to fix the 3rd dimension. They want to make politics better. They want to make religion better. They want to make it better. I think we need a new model. I think we need a new model. And I think that's what's trying to happen and break through is new models and patterns. But they're having a hard time getting through because there's not enough people open to receive it.
Yeah.
And so therefore, when you use vibration, it's kind of a subtle way of doing this work and getting through the belief systems, which are all different. We all have different belief systems, right? Which the ego mind uses as a defense mechanism to keep out what's trying to break through, to keep break through. So when you use the forks, you're kind of helping to create these vibrational portals and pathways where breakthrough can happen and change what's breaking down into a new pattern or a new model. And that's called the New Earth. Remember how popular that got? The New Earth thing just hit the whole world. And everybody resonated with that idea of the New Earth. Well, the New Earth is going to have new bodies and a new humanity and new species. And this is so powerful. It's like that, again, that caterpillar becoming that butterfly. And we're going to help people to make this change as easy as possible by using just raw vibration of tuning forks.
Yeah, I mean, it's so in our language, isn't it? You know, when you talk to people, it's like, oh, yeah, they were on my level, or, you know, I just, you know, they didn't feel right. Everything was on, like, all of our language as far as communication is literally its frequency. Oh, they gave you good vibrations, all this kind of stuff. So clearly, you know, like I said it before, you know, we're having a lot of communication issues at the moment with people because everyone's on different levels. you know, a lot of us watching this are trying to sort of say certain messages to other people, and they can't get it. Like we say, it goes over their head, right? Because their frequency is too low, and the frequency goes over their head because it's too high.
That's excellent. Excellent way to put it. Yeah, I so agree with that. So the thing is to kind of to take away the words. If you take away the words, you take away belief systems, you take away the mindset that I'm not you and you're not me, and we go to what we all are, and that's energy and vibration. And when you go to that core essence and work from there, instead of trying to change this out here. I believe this, so you should believe that. I'm of this religion, you should be of my religion. I'm of this politics. Everybody's trying to convert everybody, and we're clashing like crazy. And this needs to stop. We need an intervention of vibration and sound into the collective planetary consciousness very soon. Very soon.
Vibration intervention. I like that. That's good. Yeah, definitely. And just quickly, a lot of people have obviously been asking why are there 6 forks? Obviously that they're coloured forks, and I think people automatically sort of tune into the colours of the chakras, and of course there's 7. So that's clearly because there's 6 solfeggios that the first receiver was told to use. So do they match up to chakras? And is there if they do, which ones? Is there another? Is it the crown chakra that's not in there?
Correct. Okay. That question is asked a lot. We have 7 major chakras. Of course, we have many chakras, but we're dealing with the major 7 chakras that most people are familiar with. And when I was getting the download, I thought, okay, what do I do? Do I go to a 7th? Because the brain thinks linear: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
And I was finding that I was curving into more vertical thinking. So what came to me was use all 6 of the forks to make the 7th. When I get to the crown, I put all the 6 forks.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And tap them all at the same time and get that synergetic crown chakra experience. So,
which kind of makes sense because the crown chakra is white light, right? Which is when you split it up, it's all the colors.
Very good. That's white light. That's not over. I have them on a xylophone where you can hear them really good. When we try to translate it through technology.
Yeah, well, that could be the other thing is it's the frequencies that they don't want us passing around, right?
Yeah. You really want what I call raw vibration. You don't want it to go through music. You don't want it to go through technology. And that's why I love these forks, because you can use them anywhere. You don't have to plug them into the grid. They're just wonderful.
Well, that's a good point, because there's so much of this stuff, especially on YouTube, like all these solfeggio frequencies. Play this when you go to sleep and all this kind of stuff. What's your view on that? Do you think that?
Well, I've resolved we live in the world of technology. There's nothing I can do much about it. But the thing I keep telling people, when you see someone on Facebook, that's not your friend. That's an image of your friend. It's not like being in the presence of a friend. So technology is interpreting our real world to us. Yeah. So it's feeding the illusion. The world is in an illusion. It's in a kind of a sleep state anyway. And I think we're feeding that some with all technology. But to break that by using tuning forks, that doesn't have to be interpreted through technology. You're getting that nothing but pure raw vibration. There's no real melody. Now, I want to say about the solfeggio frequencies is they are not resonant with Western music. See, we've all downloaded Western music as a diatonic scale of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right?
Yep.
These are not that. They're dissonant to that. But here's the thing that is so cool. If you're looking for issues in the energy body that is dissonant, like dis-ease, karmic patterns that have not been balanced, emotional traumas, that's dissonant.
Yeah.
So the physics says that like attracts like, right? So wouldn't it make sense that dissonant frequencies find dissonance in the body? And when dissonant is equal to dissonance, it turns into resonance.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When you get two things alike that join, then they are tuned to a resonant sound. So when I use these forks on people and they're going, ooh, I don't like that sound. And what I said, good, we found something. We found something dissonant in the first chakra, something that happened to you the first 7 years of your life, even in conception. Something has entered into your energy body that is not resolved. And so I will take that and we'll work with it. And then I'll tap two together and have two dissonant forks. And all of a sudden it just changes. And we go, oh, how beautiful that sounds. Because dissonant was turned to resonance.
So basically it was out of tune.
Out of tune. Yeah. So they're just amazing. They're just amazing for us.
Just a side question. So do you think that all this, 440 hertz kind of music, heavy metal, do you think that's feeding disease?
Well, good question. I do think, I know when I came into just like meditating or something like that, I couldn't meditate to Western music. I mostly went to Eastern music, kind of Hindu type music or something like that, because they were out of the 440A scale, which if you study it is called 12-tone temperament. And if you understand that, that means on a piano, there's white and black 12 keys that go to C and closes the octave.
Yeah.
Well, that's boxed in music. This keeps us boxed in to reductionism. Okay. In other words, everything is specialized and belongs to its own self that's separate from everything else. Yeah. It's not holistic.
Yeah.
So if we're moving toward being holistic, we got to break down those barriers between these dimensions, and therefore coming with a different sound. Now, a lot of people are going to 432 hertz, which is good. There's some really good ones out there. So if you get into Mozart, you get into Beethoven, they understood these things. And that's why their music has survived for so many decades and years, is because they tune to different frequencies that boxed in the people. So we're going to take them out of the box.
All right. So we've got our 6 colored forks. So what do we do with them now? Are these more for practitioners and people who are looking to actually use them for healing other people, or are they just as practical to use on ourselves?
I think both. I'm being honest. They were developed to train people to use them, but we have a lot of people who order them and just every day listen, because the power of sound is through the auditory system, through the vagus nerve, and when you put certain frequencies into that, it begins to change us from the deep inside outside. So we do have people that use them. You can use them every day. This one, which in Western music is doe, a deer, a female deer, which is not, in Latin, it is an ut fork or ut quint laxus. And this represents changing the vibration of the root chakra to the Solfeggio frequency. When we do that, then we are able to scan and see what is in the root chakra that is not in tune with the innate part of themselves. One thing I love about what you do, Cambell, is even the name of your podcast here has to do with finding that innate intelligence within ourselves.
Yeah.
People think we come in here with nothing. No, we don't. We come in here with two different things. We come in with karmic debt, but we also come with universal intelligence that is deep within us, but it's not been activated and awakened in people. And that's what I do with these frequencies, is to awaken the potential part of ourselves, that innate intelligence, because that's where we need to hear from, is from within ourselves. We've heard out there. You see where that's got us. We let everybody lead us. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone yelling, follow me, follow me. I mean, there's so many good analogies to all this. I mean, radio, right? You know, there's all these stations, but if you're not tuned to the right frequency, you're never going to hear the right message.
I use that all the time. I've got, I don't know, maybe, I don't know how many stations I've got, 1,000 through my house, and they're going all the time. They're in the airwaves, right?
Yeah.
But if I don't know that 3-number combination to put it in my remote, I don't tune into it. So what are we not tuned into that already is within us? But there's a belief out there of lack. And when we have lack, and then somebody comes along on a white horse and says, I'm going to rescue and give you what you don't have, then we give our power away.
Which just makes the problem worse. Yeah.
Yeah, take your power back. So each one of these represent a chakra that we work with. This would represent your, of course, your sacral. So this all has to do with up to the age of 7. This has to do with about the age of 11. You go into adolescence, and these 3 chakras is more what is keeping us back from these, which is heart, throat, intuition, and third eye. You got to take care of these. You got to take care of what happened to you in growing up, and how that you have stored data and missed data into your, this is your story. Chakras is your story. And I think vibrationally, we can change the story. The story that holds drama, people have been abused, sexually, mentally, emotionally, all of that can be changed at the energy level, freeing the person to be all that they were created to be.
Nice. So they basically represent, we've got this saying from the hat people, give me the child until they're 5 or 7 and I'll show you the adult, basically, because they're telling us, right, all that stuff's imprinted in those early years for us. So the other thing is, all this talk of shadow work, it's been going on, shadow work, and we've got to do all this stuff, and a lot of people are basically saying you've got to go back and you've got to go back to that energy, right? And somehow that's going to sort of fix it. But I've been playing with this idea of healing retroactively, is what I'm calling it. So basically doing stuff now that literally changes the past. What are your thoughts on that? Yeah.
Isn't that a great thought, that we're not victims to our past?
It's such a different way to look at it. We don't have to go back there and dwell and, oh my God, I was so wrong. We just got to go, oh, I misinterpreted that. Let's change the tune.
Yes, exactly. Love it. I love that. Yeah. So anyway, each one of these all have a purpose. Now, what's cool about all these frequencies, if you use the Pythagorean idea of numerology, they all will reduce down to a root vibration number, which is always 3, 6, and 9.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, what's powerful about that is Nikola Tesla.
Yes.
Gives us a quote that says, when mankind understands 3, 6, and 9, he will have a key to the universe.
Oh, a key.
Oh, key. Here you go. Now, I come from this, biblical thing in the years. So I've been reading the Bible about the keys of David. David would go and play the lyre or the harp to these kings that were being tormented, and it would go away. He had the keys. Then I read where it talks about how the keys have been given, the keys to the kingdom have been given to Peter. Okay? And I've always wondered, what's the keys? I want the keys. Give me the keys.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, I was thinking of a key like you put in the door. I never thought of a sound as a key, like the key of C, the key of F, the key of D, that there was a combination of sounds that were the key to opening up the universe in us.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So
I mean, we get
that's
these
why
keys to the city. They love to give people the keys to the city, and I don't think they do it anymore. But when you used to turn 21, you used to get a key.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But obviously they're thinking key, lock sort of key. But it would make more sense. Like, okay, now you're an adult. Here are the keys you need to go forward for your higher chakras and all this kind of stuff, doesn't it? Here's the keys
Yes.
to the city so that you're in tune with it and you know what's going on.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So as I said, I'm so humbled that these fell into my my consciousness that I could share them for the last 23 years all over the world. We have people all over the world, trained people all over the world. We are translated several languages all over the world, and we have certainly made an impact on the collective consciousness because I'm looking for that certain number. What I mean is that remnant of people, that critical mass, that enough. When this happens enough, then it's going to ripple out throughout the entire collective planetary consciousness.
Great.
And that's what we're striving for. So if you're out there and you feel the call to be a light worker, we're talking to you today because you want to be a part of this great movement of how we are transforming and changing our world of 3D into a much better world of at least 5D and beyond.
Nice. And of course, a lot of people are looking for new direction in their life. So yeah, if this is sort of speaking to you, then definitely look into it. There's courses and everything that is taught by Soma Energetics that'll help you on your way. And this is what we need, right? Like we know the whole realm needs a bit of a tune up. You all need to get in sync, good vibrations, all these things that we say.
I think Tim has something you wanted to kind of share at this time.
Yeah.
Well, you did, David, you did develop a technique using these 6 color tuners for personal use. The entire video is online, available on the page where that product is, Energy Tuners. But let me just kind of touch into it for a second. I think I've got all the mics on this time. There we go. So you start with that root chakra one like we talked about. You sound it on the puck. And we always do auditory in Soma Energetics first. So you always listen to it first over your ears. So you want to hear it first. Okay. And that's to put the frequency into that vagus nerve, just like he was talking about. That the vagus means wanderer. So it's that nerve that wanders through the entire system. Okay. So you always listen first. Then you hold it over that root chakra and let it spin. Just in front of that root chakra. Okay. And let it spin. Now for us, it'll spin back and forth. It might go circular one way. It might go circular the other way. But what you're after is when it goes back and forth. When it goes back and forth, then you've achieved balance and you're ready for the next chakra. Okay. So then you go to the next one, sound it, do auditory again, one ear, the other ear, sound the fork again, hold it in front of the next chakra up, which would be the sacral. Okay, until you achieve balance there. Go back and forth. There's balance. Okay. Then here comes a cool part. We're going to build a bridge between the two. Sound the 2 forks together. And what's going on here, what's important, is not necessarily the 2 frequencies, but what's between them, the interval. So you've got a 396 and a 417. So take 396 and 417, you got a 21. So it's 21 hertz is the interval, and that's the bridge we're going to build from the root chakra up. Okay? Do you listen? Sorry about that. You listen, cross over, corpus callosum, just like we did before, right? We've talked about that. Okay? Then you hold the red one in front of the root and leave the orange one in front of the sacral.
Okay.
And just move the red one up to the sacral until they tap. Okay? So you've just built a bridge. So you balanced each chakra and then you built a bridge between the 2. Now you're just going to continue that all the way up. So let's do one more. I don't need to do the entire sequence because again, you have it. Listen to the fork. Okay. Listen. Across corpus callosum. Now we're solar plexus. Now we're trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to live in this world with this body that we incarnated in, and whatever sexuality, race, whatever issues, how are we going to deal with this world, relationship with ourselves? Okay.
All right.
So a lot of stuff going on in that chakra, right?
Yeah.
And then it goes back and forth. Okay, you got balance. Now you go back to the red one again. You always start back at the root. So look at it like the root is like a gallon of water, and each chakra is an 8-ounce cup, and and so you're just going to kind of distribute it. Okay, sound the two together. Okay, listen to them. Cross over the corpus callosum. Okay, then hold them root short in front of the root chakra, and then hold the me fork, the gold fork, in front of the solar plexus. Okay, and then move the root up to build a bridge up to the next one. And you just build your bridge all the way up the body until you get to, and let's see, now we've got the mic on, so maybe you can use this version of the all 7 together. Okay, so again, we used all 7. You're probably going to hear them a lot better this time because I got the mics turned on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's better with this microphone. Anyway, so then you use them all together. You listen to them. Okay, and then listen to them on the other side. Okay, now you hold the root. Hold this over your crown. Okay, hold the root. Come up. Stopping at each chakra. Does it want any more? Is it okay? I'm doing this quickly.
Yeah.
And when you get to the top, then when you get to the top, you're around your crown chakra. Try to get down a little bit. Looks like my camera's up a little high. There we go.
Yeah. No, it's pretty interesting, right? Spiraling up, but it also looks like the headdresses we see with all the feathers.
Right. The crown stuff that you see. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what I'm holding here, these are called swivels. I think I sent you a pair of those.
Yes.
They're called Soma swivels. Yeah. So that's a separate product. So you can get just the forks. If you get just the forks, they come with an O-ring, which is how we started. A little bitty rubber O-ring. So if you get just the forks and you get the O-ring, you still use 2 fingers and a thumb, and you're able to still let the. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So you're still able to let the fork dangle. The idea here is to free up the fork so that the energy moves the fork instead of the fork moving the energy.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Use it that way, but we had a guy in the States here that developed these swivels that really free up the fork and make it more like a pendulum. So those are available separately.
Yeah, and that'll obviously also takes out any physical, if people are actually swinging it themselves, and that it sort of takes that out of it. So
exactly,
you're obviously sitting there, so this can be done sitting up for ourselves.
Exactly. Right.
And it's the same technique if someone's lying down and we're giving it to someone else. It's basically the same kind of thing, right?
It's the same kind of idea. It's much more in depth. If you're learning our techniques to use it on someone else, you start by laying them on the back, and you work your way up the back. Then you take all 6 forks and refract around the front, turn them over, and come down the front. So that's an entire technique called the energy vitality technique, and that's what everything's based on. That's phase 1 of our courses. But if you're just using it on yourself, you can do it the way I'm doing it, just on yourself. If you want to use it on a family member, they can either sit up or they can lay down, and you can do what I just did on them. Exactly. And then the entire thing is available as a video, free on the page with this product, the Energy Tuners. So you can see, you can watch the entire thing and not just the demo that I just did. David takes about 30 minutes to go through it. So he goes into a lot more depth about what you're doing and why you're doing it, because David's the why guy. I'm the how. All right. Thanks, Campbell.
Thank you, Tim. Thanks. And of course, all the links to all those videos and everything you'll find below.
And don't forget to use that code. What's that code?
That code AUTO for 10% off your first order.
Auto.
Exactly.
10% off. Use the code AUTO.
Exactly. Links below.
Excellent. Thank you.
Right, David. So what's the why? What's the why for our colored forks?
The why is a wonderful tool to assist us to make as easy a transition as we can to the next level of our potential of what it means to become a new human, not a third dimensional version, but a fifth dimensional with less density, and where blood runs in our bodies, our third dimensional light will run in our fifth dimensional body. For blood is only congealed light trapped at the density of 3D, but we will see light run through our bodies, and we will become a light-based species. Vibration is always the way. It has always been the way that we have made this kind of leap into the next level of our evolutions. And now it's not physical evolution that's driving it so much. It's not the fittest of the species. It's not competition. It's cooperation now, as evolution and creation has met together and are working together, and consciousness is driving our evolution, not evolution is driving us to consciousness. So we can actually make this faster, easier, and better by working with consciousness and using vibration and sound to accomplish it.
Definitely. I mean, and we've been looking into this for a couple of years now about how they've destroyed the sound. You mentioned Gregorian chants before. Everyone watching this will know about the cathedrals who used to have choirs, which have been taken out. They used to have organs, which have been dismantled and thrown in the basements. The bells, they were all taken out in World War II and melted down. So this is all frequency stuff. And it's all related to what we're told is, God, right? But as you alluded to before, and my kind of, view on this is, the chapels are where you go to get close to God, right?
Yeah.
To access that frequency. So it makes sense that this is all vibration and frequency. You go there, you hear the chants or the organs or whatever that gets you in the right frame. You can receive whatever you need, the healing. We can talk about, link that to Jesus, obviously, and all those kind of stories. But also the information. The information, how many stories are there of, like messages from God? What does that actually mean? Does it just mean that they were in tune? They were tuning in to the right frequency, right? The right message.
Amen, brother. That's good. That's good. That's good. I like
all
that.
There. And like you said, all this stuff is it's just coming like a freight train at us. Like everything that we've been looking at, all this new information, it's all linking up. It's all the same information. We've mentioned Cymatics and Dr. Emoto and the chapels and frequency and the 440 to 432, all this stuff, even music. It's the muse, right?
The muse, yeah.
And the muse is a bit sick at the moment, right? The muse is sick.
You ever see in Scotland in the chapel, the Rosalind Chapel, these little figures with fingers on different notes on the scale, because they kept telling us there's a code that is deeply hidden, that only music and sound can activate that code. And here we are living that right here in 2023.
Yes,
we are the generation to come that will not walk as our forefathers. New generation, a new gene, a new genesis. And wow, with the help of vibration, we can make this as easy as possible without struggling to do it. So let's open those portals and those pathways, and let's make roadways in our consciousness that we didn't even know was there.
Indeed.
And let's do it.
Indeed. And like I said, everyone, everyone knows what's happening in the last 3 years of all this stuff coming up. People are needing new careers, new ways to give value back, new healing, all this past trauma coming up. And we can do this the hard way or the easy way, pretty much. You can spend years struggling and going back, or you can just, tune in, change the blueprint and go forward. And everyone's asking, how do we do this? How do we bring in this new earth? What do I do? Well, if this is calling you, this is a great way. But I would say, start work. If you want to change the world, you need to change yourself. So this is the great way to start, right? Change your frequency with these keys, get tuned in, and then you will be the change that you've been waiting for, right?
You're saying it very well, very, very well. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That makes my heart feel good. You know, there's others that understand this.
I definitely understand it. That's exactly where we are. So, like we said, guys, you will find all the links below, and you'll find a link if you want to get involved, where you'll get 10% off your first purchase. Just use the code AUTO. And like we said, there's courses, there's everything you need basically to heal yourself, to heal others, to start a business, to heal the world, right? However far you want to take it. You can find all the info you need at somaenergetics.com.
You know, I want to say when we train our practitioners and people, we use a quote from Robert Frost that we're not just healers, we're awakeners.
Yes.
So we don't use the word healing as much as awakening our own inner authentic self, which is transcendent of illness, disease, sickness, and death, which we only experience in the third dimension. We're going to have a whole different experience when we become citizens of heaven, so to speak, when we move it to the next dimension of transcendence. It's really exciting to talk about all this when you do and realize that this is really the hope for us now, is to change and raise our vibrational frequencies.
Yeah, I totally agree. This is the tech we've been waiting for. This is the tech of the new earth. And this is how we go forward. You know, like I said, everyone's talking about raising their vibration and all this kind of stuff. Well, I mean, do it, right? Literally, you can do it with a tuning fork. So like I said, all the links are below, and you know, I do encourage everyone to go and check them out to get some. You know, because I've been using them now for probably 4 weeks, and definitely I can feel stuff's moving in my arm a lot quicker than, you know, any of the other sort of things I've tried. I've tried lots and lots and lots, you know, all the pills and potions, and so yeah, this is definitely, you know, affecting me in a good way. So yeah, if you've got any issues that you're dealing with, I would say, you know, invest in yourself, right, in the future, rather than sort of going to, you know, that man in the white coat who wants to give you, you know, those pills that are antibiotics, which, by the way, guys, means anti-life. So take care. Instead, tune in. So there you go. So yeah, thanks heaps, guys. And obviously, I think, you know, we're going to have another chat and sort of pursue this. You know, because this,
I'd love it.
It's just so in tune, right, with what I've been covering and researching in the last couple of years. All this information's coming up, and it's all clicking in. It's all the same to me. It's all the same thing. We're really starting to reveal who we are, and what we need to get back to, I think, is, you've mentioned it quite a few times, is, you know, we're created perfect. We're already perfect. We've just got to get back there. It's not a bits of, you know, cutting this off and, oh my God, I did that wrong and this is bad. No, just get back to who you are. Just tune into who you really are and go forward from there.
Absolutely. Love it. Love it. You
Awesome.
got it. Yes, I have a lot more I'd like to say, so let's do it again.
Yeah, let's definitely do that. Next time I'll be settled over east in the bush. So thanks for your time, Dave and Tim, if you're still there. Sitting there looking like a rock star too. I was going to say, you need a little keyboard, you know, like a tuning fork keyboard or something in front of you there.
There you go.
Look like you're about to sing a song. All right, guys. So thanks for joining us. Like we said, all the links are below. Go check them out. I do recommend all these, all their products, all the courses, all that kind of stuff. And we will talk to Dave and Tim again, hopefully in a month or so.
That sounds good.
Awesome,
Thank
guys.
you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you
to
for
all
your
your
time.
listeners and people, we want to thank them too for listening, and hope they'll get on our website and look it over a little bit. See if they resonate with it.
Yes.
See what resonates. That's what I was going to say. See what resonates.
See what resonates.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Remember, in the end, nobody wins unless everybody wins. Come on!